Hey, welcome. I'm pretty good. How are you, Aaron? Hey, guys. Welcome to the stream. Good, good. So I did a poll in chat of what you guys want to discuss or watch. So if we discuss the 3378 Weatherby, I wanted to talk about Mark and Sam Afterworks custom 3378 Weatherby and the load up that he has. That's just insane. Or I could reload 223. But none of you have voted yet. Hope you guys are having a good night. Remember to vote in the poll I did of what you guys want to do tonight. Or you can just let me know in the chat. You guys are quiet tonight. Not seeing much chatter. Yeah, just let me know what you guys want to do, what you want to talk about, or what you want to see. Anyway, I'm just going to start talking about the 3378 Weatherby, a channel that I'm sure some of you or most of you probably already know. Mark and Sam After Work, back in April, so 4 months ago, he built a custom rifle on a 3378 Weatherby. And I was real excited because he's never had a Weatherby cartridge that he's done long range shooting with. So he did the 3378, and with his gun, it was with a 31-inch barrel. I shoot a 245 grain hybrid burger bullet, I believe. And he was getting some insane velocities with it, 3,260 feet per second, which is just crazy fast. So, I mean, that's really fast. So I made a chart to see, hypothetically, say he hunted with it. Now, it's probably not an ideal hunting bullet, but let's say he wanted to hunt, just to put in reference, his energy at 400 yards is the same as a 300 Weatherby at the muzzle. And out to 1,000 yards, it was more than a 6.5 Creedmoor at the muzzle. 100 more foot-pounds than a 6.5 Creedmoor at 1,000 yards. So it's just crazy. It's a little quiet tonight. Not many people chatting. So, I mean, a normal like hunting rifle 3378, there's no way it's going to get those velocities, probably because it's only got a 26-inch barrel. And I've always thought that the 3378 Weatherby really needed like a 30+ inch barrel to really get the velocities up. It's just burning so much powder, and you can burn up to like almost 120 grains of powder. It was only, that's an L gun at 1,600 yards. Yeah. I mean, if the bullet could stay together, yeah, definitely. Not that I would ever shoot that far with it, but yeah. Yep. So, like, yeah, it's insane. Maybe I'll link the video in the chat.
G'day, welcome.
But yeah, that's the video where he was getting his velocities. He was shooting the gun for the first time, and with a 245 grain bullet going over 3250 is just crazy. So yeah, if you're a fan of like Weatherby cartridges and long distance shooting, you got to check out his channel. He obviously shoots a lot of other cartridges, not just Weatherby. He only has like one Weatherby cartridge, but the guy's extremely talented. So, yeah, definitely is. Let me just pull up the chart. Okay, so the BC of the bullet was 0.808. 245 grain bullet going 3260. Muzzle energy is almost 5,800 foot-pounds. And let's say if you wanted to match a 30-06 out of the muzzle, that's at 700 yards with this combination. And then out at 1,000 yards, it still has 2495 foot-pounds of energy. Again, like the 6.5 Creedmoor has like mid 2300s out of the muzzle. So it's just insane. Yeah, he's pretty awesome because I mean he's using a 30-06 when no one uses a 30-06 to do long range. He's also been doing a 270, which I think is really cool. So it's been a pretty slow night. It's all good. Remind me, Theron, what rifle do you hunt with? Oh, absolutely. .270 is great, and getting into a higher twist would be awesome. Yeah. I think the problem with the 30-06, don't get me wrong, I love the 30-06. But it's kind of in no man's land for like long distance shooting. And because it's not going as fast as the Magnums, and it's got more recoil than a 308. So I think it's an all-around amazing hunting rifle, but not the ideal long-distance rifle cartridge. So even if you did like a 1-9 twist, I think those heavy bullets that are above like 225 grains, it's just going slow. It's going too slow in a 30-06. Oh, I think 338, 378 is awesome. Yeah, I'm not a long distance shooter. I'm a hunter, so I guess I'm just trying to explain why a lot of people don't shoot long distance with the 30-06, like target shooting. But as a hunting rifle, amazing. It's your do-it-all rifle. And I will get one someday. Oh, back Mad Scientist, back to like the 338, 378. I think it's a better version of the 30. I could be wrong though. Again, I'm not a long distance guy. I just like looking at the numbers. True. I agree, Mad. I've always said it in my videos that I think one of the most underrated hunting cartridges available is the 340 Weatherby. You're getting close to 338 Lapua performance, and the only problem is just not as popular. And I wish it was more popular. And if I were to get a Mark V Deluxe, I think I'd pick it in 3 calibers, either a 257 Weatherby, a 300 Weatherby, or a 340 Weatherby. But I'd probably lean towards 340. Probably. I don't know. I bet you can. There's not a huge difference. I don't know. Has anyone tried to neck up from a 300 Weatherby up to a 340? So, Busta, what's your favorite one? 257, 300, or 340? $257. Yeah. That's right. I am really close. Equal opportunity. Really close. And honestly, it's really close between a 270 Winchester and 257 Weatherby. So I've heard the same thing, and everyone talks about just how fun it is to shoot. That it is like a laser. It's just lightning in a bottle, and you literally don't even have to like do any holdover out to 400 yards with the 257 Weatherby. Yeah. So I know the 270 WSM is awesome, but I am looking for a cartridge that doesn't kick as much. So I'm kind of in the medium range of kick. So probably less than 20 pounds of kick. You just want to hear a sad story? Years ago, my dad got a gift from his work, and the guy gave him a Mark V 340 Weatherby, Mark V Deluxe 340 Weatherby. And this was probably in the early 90s, and he couldn't get it to shoot very well, sadly. And he was kind of a really beginner reloader. So he admits that he didn't really know what he was doing, that he could have probably got the gun to shoot better. and he traded it in for a 300 Weatherby. And he told me that was like his biggest regret ever, was getting rid of that Mark V Deluxe 340 Weatherby. I wish he would have kept it. I would have shot it. Yeah, mad scientist. I about a month ago found nozzler partitions to shoot really well in my rifle with IMR 7828, 180 grain partitions. So I was getting 3/4 inch groups with them. So definitely good enough. Busta, I guess I'm not really into the 6.5 hype right now. I'd rather get a 25 caliber over a 6.5. That's just me. What I hunted last year was with a 175 grain LRX Barnes bullet that was just under MOA, and I was using H4831. But the partitions, the 180 grain partitions, they really like, or my rifle really likes it with IMR 7828. Are any of you guys on the Weatherby Nation forum? I post there sometimes. A 270, 378. Holy moly. Talk about overbore. Good grief. Is that the new cartridge that they're going to be looking at? I don't know. I don't have any experience with Ramshot or Retumbo. You should. The forum's a little slow, but I mean, I think it's owned by Weatherby. The website is. So I think from time to time, like people from Weatherby company post there. I think it's kind of a guess though, honestly. But you definitely should check it out. So I made the mistake. I was kind of testing something out on the Weatherby Nation. Okay, I'll turn off the fan. I was testing out a top 5 most overrated cartridges. And okay. Hopefully that fixes it. What do you mean can't see the Vanguards on the Weatherby website? Are you talking about like the calibers? I think it's because they're all sold out. Although someone told me that they were able to get a Hush rifle, a Vanguard Hush, today. Someone commented on that. None of the models are even on display on the website. Let me check that. I was able to pull up the Vanguard Synthetic. It's the gun I have. Let me pull up like the Hush Edition. It's pulling up for me. I can even choose a caliber for it. That's weird for you. So here's my guess, Jess, for the new Weatherby cartridge. I think it's going to be a 35 caliber. Weatherby doesn't have one in 35 caliber, from what I know. Oh, still not getting that thing to work. Like a Weatherby 35 Whelen. Here's my guess is they're going to use their new RPM cartridge, and I think they're going to use that case for different size caliber, or calibers. So maybe a 35 RPM. But I have no idea. But I do think it'll be bigger. Because I know Adam Weatherby was using it for moose hunting, so I assumed it's a bigger caliber. I think that's what they're doing. Or it could be some crazy neck down 378. I doubt it, though. Mr. J10 said that he was looking at doing a 270 378, which would be crazy. That would be a lot of overbore. And you would need a really long barrel to get the good velocities. For a long time, Weatherby used Norma to make their ammo and their brass. But I read on Weatherby's forum that since the pandemic, they've been going away from here. They've been going away from Norma. Here's, I got brand new 300 Weatherby brass. It's nice and pretty. But apparently, I always thought this was Norma brass because that's what Weatherby's used for so long. But on Weatherby Nation, they were saying that it's a combination of Remington and Hornady. That is some kind of mix. That the newer brass is not Norma, but I don't know. Oh, I'm not sure. I can't tell. I don't know. I don't know if this looks like Hornady or or if it's Norma. I'm not 100% sure. It kind of looks like Norma to me. I got this like beginning of the year. Thinner letters. Let me look. I have no idea. I don't think you're even going to be able to read that. Anyway. Lighting's not good enough. Even if it is Hornady brass, Hornady's not bad. I'd say it's pretty good. Yeah, I think it is Norma. Let me look at, I know I have some Remington brass. Some cheap Remington brass. I don't know. I can't tell. Weatherby brass isn't cheap. So I'm hoping it lasts me a while. I haven't really used it yet. I'm kind of saving it for this hunting season. So I do have another box of Weatherby brass. Let me look at it. Let me see. Oh. All right. So I've got this too. I don't know what the difference is between a select brass. Maybe it is different. This honestly looks the same as the other box. Barrel life. I know this sounds crazy, but Weatherby Nation is claiming that it's around like 1,500 rounds. I don't really believe that. Has anyone shot out their 300 Weatherby barrel? I'm not really close to shooting my barrel out. I've maybe shot 120 rounds through it. Maybe only 100. Yeah, that's what I kind of thought. Especially if you're shooting it hot, which I think most people do because they're using it for hunting and they're going to be shooting those 180 grain bullets, 3,200 plus feet per second. I just don't see how it would go 1,500 rounds. So I would say it's anywhere from 1,000 to 1,200 if you're lucky. Anyway, for all of you guys that just came, my 3378 Weatherby discussion was, I'm sure you guys have heard of the Mark and Sam After Work YouTube channel. They do a lot of extreme long distance shooting. And for a long time, he hadn't ever done a Weatherby cartridge until 4 months ago, he got a custom built 3378 Weatherby. And he was testing out some of his loads, and he had a 245 grain Burger bullet, and he got it up to going 3260, which is insane. And the energy, so theoretically, so let's say if you hunted with that bullet, which it's probably not a very good hunting bullet, muzzle energy is 5783. At 400 yards, it has the same energy as a 300 Weatherby at around 4,200 foot-pounds. At 700 yards, you're getting 30-06 energy at the muzzle. And at 1,000, it's still over 100 more foot-pounds than a 6.5 Creedmoor at 1,000 yards. It's just insane. Yeah, yeah. It was 3250 and then some 3260. He mentioned he got 3260. But yeah, it's crazy. And honestly, I don't know if, I think I read on Burger's website that it is a hybrid bullet that you could hunt with it. He basically is shooting artillery. I mean, with how long distance he's doing, he's basically lobbing in bullets. But here, I'll link the link to the video. And then he did a video later where he's using the Hornady 250 grain bullet, and it was going 3,200 feet per second. I think he dialed back on the velocity to get a little better accuracy. How many shots have you think you've taken, Busta, with your 340? I'm going to go check the Burger website to see if that 240 grain bullet, if you could actually hunt with it. 245 grain. It's the Extreme Outer Limit bullet. It is designed for extreme long-range hunting situations. Huh. So I guess it is actually a hunting bullet. But as a BC of 0.807, you do need a 1-in-9 twist barrel. Sectional density is extremely high at 0.369. So anyway, okay. And I bet it has at least 600 more rounds of life left in it. Might even be better than, I would bet it has a better barrel life than a 300 Weatherby. I think it's a little more efficient with the 338 bullet. It's nice. Is it a Mark V Deluxe? I can't remember if you told me what type of rifle it was in. And for you Weatherby fans, I don't really care for Facebook, but I do really like the Weatherby Facebook group. They post a lot of cool pictures of their rifles. Laser Mark. Okay. Sounds like a really awesome rifle. Do they make the Laser Mark anymore? I don't remember seeing it. Or is the Laser Mark before, is it turned into like the AccuMark? I'm not sure. Yeah. That's really cool. It's a good question. I would say a lot of them are using H50. Let me pull out my handy dandy reloading book. It looks like some of the more popular one are US 869, H50 BMG, Alliant Reloader 50, Magnum, Alliant Reloader 33. And then with some of the lighter bullets, you've got IMR 7977, H1000, Retumbo. Let's look at the 300 rum. Yeah. I don't think they do a 180 grain AccuBond long range. Let me check real quick. I could be wrong. Also, I just want to say the new Nosler hand reloading book, I think they went really cheap on that. It doesn't look as nice. The ink looks pretty bleh. I don't see an AccuBond long range in 180 grain. It's the 190. So yeah, Nosler doesn't make a long range in the 180 for the 30 calibers. So Busta, what kind of speeds are you getting, or what are you reloading with your 28 Nosler? Yeah, I am too. Like if you got the free website, might as well use that instead of the book. But I don't know. There's something fun about having the book and just turning the pages. I know this is a Hornady, but yeah, the books are like $30 or more. But I'm just saying, Nosler's reloading like number 7 and number 8, much higher quality than the one they just came out with, which is number 9. Hey, Busses, you're gonna have to tell me what you're reloading for your 28 Nosler and the velocities. I'm curious about it. Does it match the Nosler's claim? Because I'm kind of thinking it might not, but I don't know. I've never heard of Federal Ascent bullets. I'm gonna have to look at it. Kind of looks like a Barnes bullet. Is it a monolithic bullet? I've never seen Federal Ascent bullets, but I have to admit that I'm still a beginner at it. Could be it. I don't know. Busted, I assume that's with 175 grain, like AccuBond long range. Doesn't sound like it. So, Matt, I think what happens with the 7 STW and the 7 rum is they need longer barrels. They're a bit overboard, just my personal opinion. But I also think that Nosler tries to make their cartridge look a little bit better. But that's my opinion. So I was curious to see what people are actually getting in their velocity, because the book claims you can get it going over 3,200 feet per second with the 28 Nosler, 175 grain AccuBond long range. which it definitely could happen. But I just have noticed with Nosler is they really what am I trying to say is that wow, I can't think right now. Basically, I've been able to get 100 feet per second more out of my 300 Weatherby than what the Nosler handbook is saying. And in the Nosler handbook, they put the 300 rum above the 3378 Weatherby in velocity, which that's just not the case. So here, let me show you. I did a max load of a 200 grain Accubon. So with this bullet, 200 grain. The book was saying the max was going to be 3,000, like 30 feet per second. With the max, I was able to get 3169 and an average of 3150 with a 200 grain bullet. So that's like the 300 rum realm of velocity. But this isn't shooting very accurately. So I'm sticking to the partition. But yeah, I was getting well over 100 feet per second more than what Nosler said I would be getting. And now I've said this before too, but I did like a paper plate test with my 300 Weatherby against the 300 WSM or WSM. And I did 83 grains of 7828 with a 180 grain TTSX bullet. And the book said I would be getting like 3180 out of it. I got 3294. So and that was still a grain below max. I'm pretty sure I could get that 180 grain TTSX to go over 3,300 feet per second with my 300 Weatherby. So, as I said, I was able to get a 3/4 inch group with the partition with 82.5 grains. I did not check the velocity, but the book says a little under 3,100 feet per second. So I'm guessing it's going to be just under 32 or a little bit above it. I loaded this one just, and I know I should probably do velocities of 3 to get an average, but I loaded just one. See, there it is, 82.5 test, just to see what velocity I will get. I haven't shot it yet. I loaded it last night. What cartridge were you shooting, Jess? Is that 300 Weatherby? That's insane velocity. That's crazy. Yeah. That's my wife. She was on earlier in the stream.
Told him to turn the fan off because it looked like craziness in here.
But it's really hot.
Oh, why don't you open the window? Can you push me for a second?
Yeah. All right, I'm back. I agree, Busta. And honestly, I was showing a little bit of signs of pressure with the 82.5 load, and I think it had to do with how hot it was outside. It was close to 90 degrees, and IMR 7828 is very temperature sensitive. So I might try a little bit faster, maybe in cooler weather, to see if I can get the accuracy up. But as I said, I think I'm going to be getting around 3,200 feet per second with my load, and that's plenty fast for me. I just want it some close to or above 3,200. For what it's worth, I see most of my primers with craters. So let me see if I can show you mine. Just a sec. I don't know if you're going to be able to even tell, but it's not terrible. But there is a little bit of a crater. Still, 3325 is insane velocity. That's just crazy. Yeah, that's the last thing I want to do, Busta, is blow up my gun or my face. So I stick to what the books say. I've definitely seen on like Weatherby Nation and other forums where people are like cranking up the loads like a grain or two above max of what the book recommends. And I don't know. I don't think I'm going to do that. Okay, someone's got to. I definitely believe that, Jess. I haven't messed around with 150 grain bullets. I think it'd be kind of fun just to see how fast you can get them going. So Matt, I saw a video of a guy using a 130 grain TTSX and a 3378, and it was going over 4,000 feet per second. Oh, definitely. I mean, if you can kill an elk with a 270 with a 130 grain bullet, why wouldn't you be able to shoot an elk with a 150 grain bullet going 3,500 plus feet per second, and in your case, 3,600? So, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people have killed elk with 30-06s with 150 grain bullets. It is fortunate. Anyway, guys, I got to get my kids to bed. and it's fun talking about Weatherby cartridges. One of these times I do want to stream some reloading. I don't know if I'll be able to do it on YouTube. I don't think they're big fans of that, but maybe through another streaming service. But I think I'm going to call it. I hope you guys have a good night. Thanks for hanging out with me. And yeah, Mad Scientist, check out the Facebook groups and the Weatherby Nation group, or the Weatherby Nation website. It's pretty fun. So, all right, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you.